When I was trapped by those throws and had been paralyzed with fear, Shion fiercely stood up to them and saved me. Still, as humiliating as it was, Shion was also partly to blame for this, and it wasn't as though her life was at stake, right? Even these guys, they were just going to jeer at her in a bit of a lewd situation. It's not like they were going to eat Shion alive or anything. It'd be alright if I just consoled her afterwards. Even I was scared, but Kei-chan was in trouble, so I had to be brave and do my best. When I, a man, was being assailed by 3 thugs whilst paralysed with fear, Shion saved me without a second thought. What about now? Those sleazy, filthy degenerates were trying to pin the blame on Shion. This time, our roles were reversed. Hey, Keiichi Maibara, if you don't save her now, when will you be able to repay the debt you owe her? You scared, Keiichi Maibara? At that time, Shion, no, Mion, didn't even show a hint of hesitation. Then, what about now? I'm not hesitating. Then what? If you're not hesitating, then why aren't you helping her? Now resign yourself to your fate. Wahahaha. Shut up, you greasy fat ass. Get out of here before I get angry. I grasped Shion's shoulder firmly and pulled her behind me. Kei-chan? It seems you don't understand. Yonder waitress was the one who met... Hang on, wait. let's clear up my throat here before we do this. It seems you don't understand. Yonder waitress was the one who wet my pants. This is her punishment. The one who needs punishing is you. Enough with the empty words. If you're a man, talk with your fists. A third to smash later. My body was lifted into the air like nothing. I was thrown right back into my own seat. This guy is strong. No matter how you look at it, no matter how you look at it, Athletic and this Lardo aren't even in the same area code. Many otakus are unexpectedly well versed in some obscure martial art. Don't be underestimating us. The man smirked, showing off his gum line. Kei-chan, are you alright? Are you okay? Damn it, how lame must I look right now? You were tricked, weren't you, Shion? They're the ones in the wrong here, so don't let them take advantage of you. That may be, but it was still my fault. Whoa! One more time. Let's do it! Nope. A snap, a thud, and a massive crash later. Don't you go thinking that this is enough to make me give up. One more time. And a whack, snap, and a thump. What snapped? Ho ho ho. You're all talk. I'm not done yet. Rise my will to fight. Whoa. Not just running, I planted every one of my steps firmly as I closed the distance to the lard ball. Each time I ripped my foot off the ground, I could feel my burning spirit flare up from the point of impact. Everything slowed down like I was walking underwater. As I stepped forward in that viscous flow of time, I calmly measured the gap between us. If our difference in height, reach was ultimately my advantage. There was an ever so tiny distance between us, where only my punch would be able to reach. I unleashed my iron fist in righteous anger, but it fled towards his face slowly, like I was punching underwater. Reacting to that, with a smirk on his face, the fat so easily slipped inside of my punch. I hadn't realised it until now, but in this mere time, I was able to observe his baffling counterattack with almost painful clarity. His arms slowly swung in a large windmill motion, wrapped around my whiffed punch, and descended in an arc. An arm swung around like the arms of a clock, and came into contact with my head, twisting my upper body around. Dragging my head along, he followed through with another rotation. This time, he rotated his entire body like a top, followed by another rotation. Combining defense and offense, it was a brilliant counter. That's right, 3 times. I was thrown after 3 rotations, I think. In this viscous region of time, I was unable to struggle. I could only wait dumbstruck until the moment I was thrown. The moment I was, that sluggish temporal anomaly abruptly ended. When your life's in danger, time slows down. Massive crash later. You lack training, young man. I was loath to admit it, but against somebody who trained in martial arts, I couldn't win through force of will alone. And we just black out. We just completely black out. After my consciousness faded in a wave of dizziness, when I came to, I was lying down in my own seat. Thankfully, you weren't injured. The more experienced waitress from before wiped the sweat from my brow with a towel. While she was doing that, a red-faced and teary-eyed Shion trudged over. Are you okay? Doing that all for my sake. I'm sorry. I'm sorry too, but I wasn't much help. I've never won a fight before. No, you were just trying to help me. Make me happy. Just you trying to help made me happy. I'm not joking. It's just that I was thinking that it was lucky Kei-chan came here today. As she said that, she stuck her tongue out teasingly. He wiped off the whipped cream with the washcloth she was holding in her hands. Tonosaki-san, you can take your break now. You still have 1 or 2 hours left, don't you? No, it's fine. Even though it's just part-time, it's still a paying job. I want to work properly while I'm on the clock. So really, you don't have to worry about me. He couldn't even put up a brave front. I would never have even think for a second that Mion could be that weak. This was Shion, and she had been harassed by some unreasonable riffraff. That was reality. Hey-chan, don't mind me. Please eat as much dessert as you can. When you're done, we have you fill out a survey. Well then, I've got to head back to the floor. After some consoling words and a sympathetic smile to Shion, the other waitress started to head back to work. That's where I stopped her. Excuse me, could I borrow your phone? The phone? It's by the register. I'll show you where. I pulled a 10-yen coin from my wallet. This wasn't about saving face. My being a worthless coward was an unchangeable fact, but I could cry myself to sleep about that later tonight. Now was not the time for tears. I had to fight. Now I recall, 1 ticket is good for up to 4 people, right? Is that alright if I call 3 more people? Yes, that's fine. For the time being, I'll write them down on the guest list, so could I have their names? Was he calling in the crew? The rest of the club members? I turned around and glared at the greasy hooligan who subjected Shion to that humiliation. There are 3 things that aren't working in your favour today, punk. The first is that I owe Shion. A second is that I am a man who's not afraid to throw away his pride to win. And the third is that we're the most powerful club members in history. Please add Menaruga, Sasuke Hojo and Rika Furude to the guest list. Understood, I'll do that. I'll have the best and most powerful club members join the fray. They can bring down 1,000 foes. You fat asses, prepare to meet your maker. This is a nice restaurant. Ah, the uniforms are cute. Mena wants to wear them too. On top of that, we've been treated to dessert. I'm deeply moved. Yes, eat as much as you like. Don't worry about my share. Keiichi-san, enough with the charades. Let's get to the point. Ren and Rika put down their forks when Sakuto broached the subject. After looking at them for a few moments, I pressed my head firmly into the table. I beg of you. I don't care if you make fun of how pathetic I am. Please, lend me your strength. The three of them seemed surprised by the sudden turn of events, but nevertheless listened to what I had to say without making any fun of my unusual behaviour. But what's the matter? Something happened, didn't it? Actually, Mion's younger sister Shion is working part-time at this restaurant. Ah, that little sister you were talking about, right? Could it be her? Could it? She resembles her. Resemble? That's just Mion with her hair down, isn't it? I don't know what to say. If Keiichi says that's Shion, then that's Shion. They might be twins, but can they really look that much alike? They're called monozygotic twins. They really can look identical. Mona gave the most plausible explanation, so everyone else was convinced. Well then, do you believe me? I'll get to the point then. I recounted everything that had just happened. How Shion was targeted, how she was antagonized by the customers, and the humiliation that was forced upon her. Also how incredibly pathetic I was. I included everything without trying to hide it. That sounds awful. Poor Shi-chan. However, for you to be unable to help her, there should be a limit on how unsightly you can be. There's nothing I can say to that. Sakuto-chan. To admit that you lost and seek help is a very difficult thing to do. Keiichi-kun chose to help Shi-chan rather than save his pride. So pathetic. Rena's follow-up stunk a bit, but I could only be thankful that she understood. Sakuto was calling me all sorts of names, but there were no malign intentions behind the words. Then what should we do? Her voice was monotone, but there was a hint of resolve in her words. I replied to Rika-chan's suggestive silence in kind of my own quiet resolve. Well, I thought it would be something like that. It's a bit much for Keiichi-san to handle this alone. Then, you'll help? Of course, Keiichi-kun. We'll help anyone who's being bullied. I remembered when I was cornered by those thugs, what Shion said about the strong feelings of solidarity in Hinamizawa, and it really began to hit home. However, Keiichi Maibara, now is not the time to get choked up with tears of gratitude. Now is the time to fight. Sorry, I owe you one. You tried your best, but didn't stand a chance alone. How sad. How sad. Rika-chan gently patted my head for me. But there was no mindless pity in the palm of that hand. It was overflowed with the strong, dependable feeling of leave the rest to us. Mion can't join us due to various circumstances, so I'll temporarily be taking command. Our strategy will revolve around Shion's defense and the extermination of the enemy's combat capabilities. Who's the enemy? Are there a lot of them? From this point onwards, anyone who messes with Shion shall be sorry. From this point on, anyone who messes with From this point on, anyone who messes with Shion shall be considered an enemy combatant. There are no rules of engagement. Compensation will be the dessert you just ate. Any questions? Everybody had already entered club mode. Their eyes peered at the riffraff clambering around inside of the restaurant like predators stalking their prey from the darkness. Rika-chan held up her hand. What is it, Rika-chan? Do we have to show mercy? Of course, we don't have to. We have no need to show mercy to the rabble who would lay a finger on Mion's little sister. Then is it okay, Keiichi? Rika-chan was serious. There's something we don't want to see. She was really ready to pretty much murder someone. I'm counting on you, Rika-chan. I, Keiichi Maimara, shall assume all responsibility. Root them. Alrighty, Rena's gonna do her best too. Sorry, please do. Keiichi-san, you don't have to be so tense. Well, just wait and see. By the time you finish that parfait, we'll have finished cleaning up too. Well then, everyone, let's give it our all. Yeah, go for it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna say that a lot. Yeah. And thus, the most powerful warman the world had ever known, trained by Mion, began to move. I was the oldest, the only boy, and behaved like a leader. But when you consider our club activities, I was far the most junior member. Individually, everyone besides me had terrifying combat abilities. If all of them combined their strengths to protect Shion, I couldn't even imagine. I was probably about to witness something terrible and awe-inspiring.